doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L Podcast.
Rockin' and rolling. The legendary Sheefy McFly is in the building. How you doing today, bro?
What up, dog?
Look at you, man. You look classic.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Like if you got the Gators on, man.
Stink pink.
I like it, man.
You feel me?
Listen, you've done so much artwork, so much. I think they call it graffiti, but I don't know if you can call it graffiti these days. Is it good?
I feel like, as far as me, I'm not a graffiti artist. I'm a muralist.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I feel like a lot of graffiti artists, they think about, it's two sides of it. So you got artists that want to like deface property. Then you got artists that really like, push the leverage of like the style of graffiti as far as like the words and, burners and tagging and stuff like that, like it's an actual art form. Right. But I feel like when people say graffiti, it's like a negative term, even though it's an art term. But I'm more so of a muralist.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part, because when you do get an article made about you, it's like you get arrested and they call you a graffiti artist when you get arrested.
Yeah.
Like really you were hired to do the paintings. And this is a
Exactly.
true story, by the way, for anybody listening. You were hired to do artwork in the city of Detroit, right?
Yep.
And then unfortunately you got arrested for it. There was no way at the moment to prove that you were being hired to do these jobs or something like that.
Yeah, like, so at the point when I was painting, just this day I didn't have my permit. You feel me? So then like some cops pulled up on me, and then just like how cops like to flex and everything. But nonetheless, I couldn't prove that I was painting it, but I painted the whole block. Like I've been working on it the whole week. So like other cops seen me and everything. But nonetheless, that was like a launching pad for me, just really standing on that truth, the oxymoron.
Yeah, man. It was unfortunate, but I'm sure it built a lot of awareness towards your brand and what you do, and your history for anybody who was unfamiliar with you at that time to do their research. If you go to the YouTube videos where people, hear about your arrest, it's all positive response and people wanting to learn about you. People were like, I'm going to buy paintings just to support him.
Yeah.
And all that type of stuff. But then people got to learn about the fact that you've been doing this for a long time, way before that. Right?
Yeah, honestly, my whole life since I've been a kid, I've been an artist.
Yeah, let's rewind, man. Let's go to day zero. Talk about, are you from Detroit?
Yeah, born and raised.
Talk about growing up in Detroit a little bit, man.
I feel like Detroit, I'm really like a true product of my environment, and I feel like I always saw the beauty in Detroit, the beauty in the people around me, and I always wanted to just exude that, show the world that, and then it went from that, learning about the beauty of Detroit, like learning that Detroit and techno is black music and it was made in Detroit. That blew my mind. We get so much of a diverse palette here, and we don't realize that the world has never tasted our flavors. So it's like I really just indulged in Detroit flavors and stayed here. And like incidences like me getting arrested, it took my brand globally, but I did it from the city. You feel me? Like a lot of people feel like you got to leave Detroit to get on, go to Cali or, New York or some shit. You feel me? I feel like you can really stay in Detroit and you can make it right here at your hometown.
Yeah, man. When you were growing up, what was the point where you realized drawing or just that creativity was your angle? Like that's something you could really pour yourself into?
When it started feeling therapeutic, you feel me? Like when I couldn't really talk to anybody else, I could draw on a piece of paper and it really helped me out. I feel like art is more therapy for me than a career. Like I will paint if people would even know I painted, like I love it that much. And I feel like you got to have that type of love, passion, and drive for whatever you're doing creatively to actually make it. You feel me? And I had that since a child, so I always just been trying to, put two and two together to figure out how to become an artist, dabbling in different mediums and everything, and then that eventually led me to creating music, because I feel like art and music is the same thing. It's just different forms of expression.
Yeah, it's a different medium of getting yourself your point across, right? Or getting your creativity expressed. But it's so interesting because when you look at murals and everything like that, and when you look at the fact that you have the chance to change what an artifact looks like in Detroit, like whether it's like, a landmark area or if it's just something in the city, they're giving you the opportunity to imprint your creativity on whatever it is you're putting it on, and you could screw that up, right? Like you can make it look terrible. Look what happened with the Detroit sign. Like, how they made that Detroit Hollywood logo, and everybody's going crazy about how that design came out. My friend actually designed that, I'm sorry, Jimmy, but nobody liked the design. Everybody thought it was going to come out one way, the Detroit symbols, and then it just came out looking kind of ghetto. What'd you think about that?
It's bland. It's definitely bland, but I feel like it's a start. I feel like a lot of things that are happening right now in Detroit, we're getting a lot more looks and everything, and we're just starting to figure out how to turn the gears. But that's why I love to be able to put my imprint with my art all around the city, because I've been starting before, like, you know, everybody being like Detroit crazy and shit. So I got like 25 murals around the city alone, and I see how, you know, if you put up something, it could become, like how you say, a landmark. You feel me? And in the midst of that, you really see how important and public art is, like, in the midst of a city. So I feel like in Detroit we have so many different muralists, and we're focused on our city rather than trying to make Detroit a billboard. You know, like we're actually painting stuff because we came from here, so we're speaking to the youth. You know, this is something that some kindergartner gonna grow up and see every day, you know, walking by his house and everything, and that's gonna really put an imprint, and I hope my art put a positive imprint. You feel me?
Well, yeah, man, a lot of your stuff, which is shocking to me. I was doing some research a couple weeks ago when I knew that there was a chance that you were going to come on here, and a lot of the stuff that I seen online was stuff I saw in my own personal life. I would walk by it, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I can't believe you. Some of these designs that you've created, I literally walked past them and seen them. Like, these are incredible. I wonder who made these.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You,
and I think a lot of people think that they want to know the face behind who's creating, you know, helping create this color scheme and feel and vibe in the Detroit area and the atmosphere. Talk about the lineage a little bit more, though, as far as growing up and getting into artistry. Do you remember the first time you realized, like, hey, I have a knack for it? It's like the first painting or drawing or anything like that?
I remember my mom, she used to start me off sketching Fred Flintstone. You feel me? Like in Hanna-Barbera cartoons and shit. So I just used to have fun chilling and drawing and shit. And then I went from there, and then I started thinking of my own characters. And I started just like, my family just got sketches and just pages of me just drawing in notebooks and shit. You feel me? You can ask my auntie Gail. You feel me? She got them all. But nonetheless, it went from there to me doing like school projects. I remember I was like in the 3rd, 4th grade maybe, and one of the teachers was like, I'm gonna pay for a class for you, and you know how you go to Center for Creative Studies, which is College for Creative Studies now. So like, I feel like I was just so indulged and immersed in my art, the people around me just felt the energy, and it just really it was just synergy, just leading to the right way, and just eventually got me here. But I just fully just always wanted to be an artist.
Was it easy for you to take that angle, to take that as a career path? Or did you have to kind of like fund yourself another way? Did you have to like go work a job while you were doing this simultaneously?
Oh yeah. Like I had a job at Nathan's Deli downtown Detroit. That's probably the only job I had. You feel me? Shout out to Mary. But Nathan's Deli downtown Detroit, it's a small spot, best corned beef in the city in my opinion. But nonetheless, I was the cashier there. I worked like 3 to 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and it really helped me just have some type of alleviance off of my art, so it's just, I'm not just thinking about money while I'm creating. So that was like the first job I ever really had. Other than that, it's just always been hustling, like throwing parties. You feel me? I always been selling paintings. I've been selling art since the playground, selling, you know, Goku characters and shit like that. You feel me? So I know how to put my mind in the midst of hustle, because at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna get it regardless. You feel me?
Did you start off on the black market with graffiti, or did you get hired initially? Like, did you ever?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always got commission, so I couldn't even call myself a graffiti artist.
Now I'm saying, like, the first, did you ever get in the black market though? Did you ever go like, I'm gonna go do this without anybody knowing I'm gonna do it?
You know, no, no, not at all.
All right, but okay, cool. But so, what was the first time that you got hired by the city to create some artwork?
That's when I did the city walls. That was through the city, but I remember one of my first murals that really helped me. It was the homie Shades. He's an OG graffiti artist in Detroit, black man from Detroit and shit. And I always used to ask him questions about painting murals and stuff, Shades and Syntax. So Shades, he got me this one shipping container at Brooklyn Street Local. And it wasn't like I was getting paid a lot. He was like, but you know, you get this, it's gonna get you more. You feel me? So it just helped me get in the mindset of just like how you treat some opportunities and some walls. It's just about the leverage. And I knew that was my first one getting in, but that one really helped me set the tone, and just the vibe was just where I was coming, like with my artwork and stuff, you know. And the more I did it, the better it just helped me enhance and just like carve away the fat, you feel me, around my style. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. Does
it change pressure wise, as far as when you're at home and you have a canvas just sitting on the, you know, just sitting up for you, and you could just paint on the small canvas, versus now you have to paint an entire wall. Does that kind of change pressure-wise, or is it the same thing almost?
Honestly, nah. I like painting bigger. Like I like painting murals and stuff because I have more freedom to move my arms, you know. And it's just the impact, just the push, you know. Yeah. It is that pressure that really, like, you know, you got to rise to the occasion and really make something that the city of love or hate. You feel me?
You know what's crazy? You know, there's always that meme on the internet of a producer sitting in the corner of a room while everybody's listening to a song, and he's like, man, nobody knows I'm the one who made this beat.
Yeah.
But the whole city of Detroit is passing by your paintings every single day, right? But driving by these murals every single day, seeing your work. Do you ever get that moment where you're walking past and people are looking and observing your work and not knowing that you're the one who created it?
I honestly love that feeling.
Yeah.
I love that feeling because I just don't like being noticed. I like doing the work. You feel me? It's not about being seen for me, you know. But I do like seeing people actually enjoy and you know, be immersed in the murals and everything.
For sure. What was the lineage of that part from your first painting, and how did it continue after that? You're getting, you know, side notes telling you like, hey, just keep doing this and investing with people, and then you're gonna get bigger and bigger jobs. What were the jobs after that?
All right, so the murals. Definitely murals in the market. That was a big the one at Brooklyn Street Local, that was one of the first ones that helped me turn around with my style and just actually getting on the wall. Then once I did murals in the market, I got one on the side of Burt's. That's through 1X Run, and they did like this huge festival one year. That's when I was standing in Eastern Market, and I saw they brought out just a whole bunch of people that wasn't from here. So I'm like, fuck it, I got to be a part. You feel me? So I went to the curator. It's like, you know, let me get in. And the second year, they let me be a part of it. And then that's like one of my most pivotal pieces on the side of Burt's. And it's like all style. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. You feel me? Like, and that's what really showed me and just gave me that inspiration and burn of like, damn, I need another wall. Like, it was just so fun just to paint and just to learn and, you know, and just to surprise myself. Because a lot of the stuff, I just started really sketching shit. Because with companies, you got to go back and forth with reference sketches and everything like that. But I had a lot of times where I just come to a wall and I just paint what I'm feeling, you know. So that's definitely something that's just full expression. That first wall on the side of Burt's, and then the roller rink. Once I did the roller rink downtown with Bedrock, that changed everything as well. That was definitely a platform.
That's humongous, man.
Yeah, that shit was big as fuck.
Talk about that experience.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So like, I had a team of homies help me paint it. We was out there for like a week, you feel me, day and night, just really hitting the ground, actually painting a mural on the ground and stuff, you feel me, and just to see the city enjoy it, you know. And that's something that's different than painting on the wall. This is something that people like, you know, sliding over and skidding up and everything, but in the sense of it, I was proud just to see it was kinetic, you feel me, like, you know, you just see people enjoying it and living with it, you feel me. It really took my mind further of what public art is. Like, you know, you really have to, it's not about you have to think about the people around it, you know. So that was really like a joyous moment, and I did it 3 years in a row. So
you can only do this if you're encompassing the culture, right? Like,
yeah.
if it's a part of you. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel like you developed understanding the culture, understanding what's going on through the generations of time in Detroit?
I feel like because I just stayed here. I just didn't leave, you know. I really stayed here when people didn't want to be here, you know. And that was like really my school of hard knocks. That was me sitting down learning. That was me rediscovering. That was me just figuring out somebody's name and walking up to them, you know. And it took me far. And I feel like that's what really got my mind centered into it now. And I see now, like, you know, as being a Detroiter, when you're a Detroiter, you're supposed to take Detroit with you no matter where you go, you know. So that's when I became a Detroit ambassador in my mind, and it made me more comfortable to just start leaving and doing stuff other places.
Right. And so never leaving and just watching everything happen, whether it's good or bad, or whether it's the music scene, the art scene, any type of thing happening in Detroit, you're just sticking with it.
Yeah, got to.
So even when it comes to somebody like Jay Dilla, right? You made a absolutely fantastic painting for Jay Dilla, man. I saw that.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. And so it made me wonder when I seen that. And then obviously you have a song with Babytron too, which is like the new generation, right? Yeah. He's changing the game, and
man,
Jay
he
Dilla,
killing shit.
Yeah, so Jay Dilla changes the game. You have a song with Babytron, he's changing the game, and it made me think of something like, where does your mind go as far as what hip hop is to you in Detroit? Where does it go as far as how far back generations does it go? And is it something that you go from street rap to gangster rap to listening to soulful rap, to R&B in Detroit, or do you just kind of stick on one side when it comes to listening to the music?
Man, I feel like in Detroit, we all the same dude. Like, we're really all the same dude. That's what be having me mad, because it's these invisible gates that people got up. Like, oh, you know, I'm a street rapper. I can't fuck with the backpackers and shit like that. You know, it's like, nah, man. Like, we all really rapping about the same shit. We all walking up the same street. You feel me? So that's, once I started seeing that, that's when I just stopped listening to the lines and just started really just approaching people. You feel me? Like, I don't ask for shit for free. You feel me? So it's like I really do good business, and that's how I got to a lot of people. You feel me? And like, some shit really just be off the love. Like, shout out to Royce. I did a song with Royce the 5'9", and he traded me, you know, paintings I did in the studio. You feel me? So like, it just showed me like, when it really comes to just culture pushers, it's deeper than money. You feel me? It's like we doing this together and we're enjoying each other. You know, like we respect each other, and I really see that through all realms of Detroit expression, from the street rappers to the backpackers to the muralists to the writers to the jitters. You feel me? Everybody, like, I had that mutual respect, and you know, when you give it, you get it.
Right. So for you, it's like everything that's coming from Michigan is its own expression, right? And it's not necessarily to say like there's a divide.
Yeah.
And not to look at it as a divide. Because even though if somebody's talking about killing, or if somebody's talking about robbing, scamming, or somebody's talking about just life in general, success, each person has some type of Detroit or something coming from them.
That's their perspective. You feel me? Like, motherfuckers really out here scamming and killing. You feel me? Like, people out here, you know, like Payroll, he got the motivation raps. You feel me? So it's motherfuckers that's really telling you their life. Or like Bodie, you feel me? Like, you know, I love listening to Bodie rap. You feel me? Like, it's just like you in the motherfucking Donald Goines book or some shit. You know, but that's what I love about Detroit, because I know these motherfuckers live in that shit. And I know with music, you feel me? Like, it's crazy what you put on wax, it come right back. You feel me? So it's like, it's just, you just see how strong the shit that we put in our music in Detroit is. Like, it can kill you or it can make you a millionaire, and we've seen both sides of it, you know. Yeah,
when I listen to your music, it blends back and forth between both sides, where I can see, like, this is all due respect, but this is just my perspective. When I listen to your music and I look at your paintings, it's like sometimes I can see that it's the same guy that made those paintings, but then sometimes I'm like, that does not feel like the same guy that made those paintings, man. You know what I'm saying? Am I a little right about that, or do you think?
Oh yeah, you feel me? You're right. I feel like
you're making good music at the end of the day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I feel like I'm 5 people in one person. You feel me? So I got different sides of myself, and that's why I make like aliases and shit like that. Yeah. So I consider like Sheefy McFly like my rap alias, you know, so I can get in that mode and I can make like the raunchy shit, the ratchet shit, because I'm really from that way. You feel me? So it's like I still got that side of me that love to listen to that shit. You feel me? And then I got this side that it's just like I'm the timid introvert painter. So I go through my modes when I just don't want to be touched. Like, I got to do my work, or I'm the muralist. I got to motherfucking be out in the middle of the city talking to people, painting the walls, or, you know, I'm the DJ. So I'm making the techno shit, you feel me, with the mask on, that movement, you feel me? So it's just like, I down there feel like a crazy person half the time.
Well, you're expressing yourself, right? And whatever it means, it's almost like what D12 did. Like, the reason it's D12 is they're originally 6 members, but they all doubled their personalities. And they all have different, like Eminem had Slim Shady, right? You know what I'm saying? So they all had 2 personalities to make it 12 people. And it's cool because it's basically like saying, I do have multiple layers of who I am as a person. I'm not going to just only express myself in this one way that everybody thinks it is.
For real.
There's other sides of me that feel different ways, and I'm going to express that through the track, and it makes it more interesting. So how do you get into certain modes when you are, you know, out in the streets and you're painting versus you're on a track? Do you have different routines, or do you have just different moods that you go through throughout the week, or how does that work?
Kinda. Lately, it's just been getting to the point where I just got to get it done. But I feel like I go through seasons, so like I get like a feeling like, damn, I got some music in my head, I got a beat in my head. So I go through like a few weeks of just pushing out as many beats as I can. Or like I set up like a solo show, like, all right, I got to crank out some painting so I can, you know, have my exhibition and things like that. Or I get like a style in my head, so I go to my art studio and I just sit there day and night, you feel me, and just paint. So I just like, when I get that feeling, I push it out as much as I can, because I see, just being multifaceted, I see, instead of just grinding all the fucking time, I gotta push it out so I can actually like give time to myself and be able to rest and be able to meditate and just, you know, actually do this shit. You feel me? Like, because if you just grind, you gonna fuck your wires up. You feel me? So
yeah, you gotta pay attention to every move you're making.
No, for real.
Talk a little bit about the future of the Detroit's fun side, where they're building the downtown city up. They're trying to make it more fun and vibrant and everything like that. You're a part of that. Obviously, in some people's way of looking at it, there's gentrification happening. And do the people that are supposedly gentrifying, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but do they reach out to you to help reinvent, to help remap, or change the image of Detroit a little bit?
I feel like they do. I definitely feel like they do. I feel like gentrification that happens to all big cities, and the way that we can. It's gonna fucking happen. It ain't like you can just sweep gentrification out this motherfucker. But the only way like we can make a change with it is like the inner city actually being a part of it. And I see like in a lot of other places in the city, once like all the white people taking over downtown, you feel me? They ain't want us down there. Well, shit, go down there. You feel me? Like, see what the fuck going on. If you don't like what the hell going on, say something about it. And if we really just start being in these places and just being present, that's when we make the change. And I feel like that's what I fight so hard when I'm in these spaces and rooms. I try to be authentically me. Like when I'm working with Bedrock or, you feel me, just big-ass companies in the city. I work with every motherfucking body. You feel me? But I'm authentically me in the room, and I get the job done, and I respect Detroit. And I feel like I'm helping open the door for other artists and other creatives, free thinkers like me, just to really change the city. You feel me? Instead of seeing gentrification as a sword, it can be a tool for us, to really just like make sure we're shifting the evolution of the city in the right way.
Well, I think a lot of the concern is when people come on here and they talk about gentrification, they kind of repeat the same thing where it's like, no, we need to own everything in Detroit. We need to Detroiters need to own Detroit. That's kind of like the mentality. So do you see that perspective of it at all, or do you like how can people take advantage of gentrification if you are from Detroit?
We start owning the neighborhoods before they get to the neighborhoods. You feel me? Like Detroit is huge as fuck, so it's like, it ain't like you can't own anything else around this motherfucker. You feel me? Like it's so many different like plots of land and buildings and stuff. Like we can make our own just sweet ass neighborhoods and shit like that and own. You feel me? So we can still own Detroit. We can still combat gentrification. Like, what it's just about us actually, you feel me, like getting in a room together and talking and speaking on it and figure out how we can do it. And it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna be step by step. It's gonna take 5 years, it's gonna take 10 years, but nonetheless, I've been seeing it happen. Like, with murals and stuff, that's a big part of gentrification. You feel me? Like once you start seeing art coming to neighborhoods and shit, that's when the Starbucks coming in, and that's when the white woman with the dog walking up the street coming. You feel me? So it's like we're fighting it as Detroit artists because we're not just putting some just bright shit on the wall that nobody knows. It's like we're speaking to our people on the wall. You feel me? So it's like it's doing it in a healthy way. You feel me? Like, so I wouldn't even see it as gentrification. Well, I do see it as gentrification because it's happening. The shit like motherfucking integration. You feel me? Like it's like the new fucking integration when we were segregated and got integrated and shit. Now it's like they just integrating with big money. You feel me? And it's hard on us because we can't own shit or do shit, but we are a black city. Like Detroit is like the blackest city in the fucking world. You feel me? So what we do is just stand up and we speak about it and we speak to each other, and it's been happening little by little. Like you see motherfuckers owning shit or just like New Era Detroit. You feel me? They doing shit. My homie Ralph, he got the neighborhood grocery. You feel me? Like it's a lot of things that's happening, and you see a lot of shit with Detroit, like Motor City Match and stuff like that. Like they're figuring out ways to give back so we can get our own money and own shit here and there. But it's all gonna be piece by piece. It ain't gonna happen overnight.
Oh, for sure, man. Ned Zeke, New Generation, New Era, literally use social media to their advantage. Like they all, like Ned Zeke really took social media and used it as a force to really get people's attention. And even though he was, to some people, it was like a little outlandish or maybe it was like a little too abrasive, but it worked. Yeah. Like in the long run, it worked. Like getting your attention to make change worked, even though if it wasn't the way people maybe necessarily wanted in the beginning. The guy made changes and made things actually happen at the end of the day, right? And you think that's needed, even though there might be people that come on and yell or scream or get very, very aggressive in their way of demonstration, that it's necessary? Or do you think a calmer approach is the best way to go?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. You feel me? I'm a chill dude, so like I ain't gonna scream and yell. I ain't gonna tell you twice. If you ain't heard it once, I don't need to say it again. You feel me? But a lot of people got different energy, so some people gonna come at it different or just got different perspectives. But we need both. Like we needed Martin Luther King and we needed Malcolm X. So it's like we gonna need the same shit in Detroit.
Yeah, for sure, man. You got like Mary Sheffield and stuff. She's obviously there again, just using social media to its benefit to help the
She
city.
gonna be the mayor. I'm gonna say that. Get that on there twice.
Mary
You
Sheffield's
feel
gonna
me?
be the mayor.
I feel like she gonna be the mayor. She should run for mayor.
I think she is. Too,
Yeah, you
man.
feel me? That's a motherfucking mayor.
She shut down Stephen A. Smith. That's
Man,
all.
what? You feel me? About to jump that nigga. Fuck him. Fuck Stephen A. Smith. I'd be mad as hell, dog.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I really think that Detroit Rap Daily, do you know the page Detroit Rap Daily on
Yeah,
Instagram?
yeah.
I really think when they post stuff, like other people see it, like celebrities see it, and they go, "Oh, we fucked up. We shouldn't have talked about Detroit like that." Like Gilbert Arenas or Stephen A. Smith will say something, and then Detroit Rap Daily will post it. It'll get like 5 million views, and then they're like, they retract their statements the next.
Cause we don't
day.
play with that shit. We don't fuck with nobody. You feel me? Just come correct. You feel me? Don't talk no shit that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? Damn.
I seen this one mural of Kobe Bryant, and everybody was dogging it for the longest time.
Where?
I forget where it was. Probably in LA, obviously, but I seen it. It didn't look like Kobe. It looked like Jamie Foxx without hair. Like it was weird. Like everybody was dogging this Kobe Bryant mural, and it did make me think. Like, man, it is a lot of pressure on these guys to make something look right. Because if, just like we were saying earlier, if you make a mistake or if you just put in, just do something the wrong way. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had to reconstruct? Have you ever had to repaint?
Hell yeah. I just did this mural of Mike Epps and shit.
One mic, right? You did that.
Yeah, I just did the one mic mural and stuff, and like I had to get it done real fast, so I threw it up quick. And I'm like, man, I don't like it. I know I can do it better. You feel me? Because I know niggas gonna rip me apart as soon as like they come in. So I came back and I tightened it up and I made sure it looked right. You feel me? People fuck with it. I was on the news talk about it. So I'm like, all right, you feel me? I made sure I ain't get the Kobe effect and shit. You feel me? I know it's the one where he like got the peace sign up or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, he doing LA and shit. Yeah, that shit was horrible. Yeah.
That's crazy as hell. So yeah, the one mic, I seen that you did that, man. And so is the one that you posted on social media the official one, or was that the first? Was that the first version?
No, that's the official one and shit.
Good,
yeah, that was right after. So I got done. It was like bump. You feel me?
Yeah, that shit was fire as hell.
No, thank you,
So
G.
did their team reach out to you, or did Mike Epps reach out to you? How'd that go?
Their team reached out to the people that whoever run the building. They reached out. We just went back and forth in the email and everything. Sent back a few sketches and stuff, and I just hit the wall.
Very cool, man. Do you get to do like private paintings for like major celebrities and stuff like that? Has that opportunity come to you?
Yeah.
Can you name any of them, or is it like too low key?
I don't know. I don't feel like all the people around me, my homies, so I don't see them as celebrities and shit. Like,
Okay, well, to
like
other
my
people-
homie Moody Man, I did a mural for Moody Man and shit. That's like a world-renowned Detroit motherfucking DJ. I did a mural of Prince in charcoal and his studio. Carl Craig, I saw him a few paintings and stuff like that. I did artwork for Esham. That's a motherfucking Detroit legend and shit.
Hey,
You
can
feel
you
me?
please get me in contact with Esham?
Hell yeah, I can get you. That's my dog. I can call him right now. He'll pick up the
Literally.
phone.
We had Awesome Dre on a couple weeks ago, and then everybody's like, if you got Awesome Dre on, you got to get Esham on.
Man, say less,
I'm like,
bro.
I've been trying to make it happen.
Say less.
These guys impossible to get in contact with. I appreciate that, though, if you make that happen.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. So it's like everybody knows you're the go-to guy to make it happen with that. Anything that needs to happen in Detroit to bring out the culture, they're hitting you up to represent that. As far as like monetizing yourself as an artist for all these upcoming artists, what's the route to take? Is it still a possibility, or is it something where like Sheefy's already the biggest one doing it, so it's gonna be hard to break into the game? There's already guys conquering it.
I feel like it's enough room for everybody, definitely. And everybody has a different route. You feel me? So that's why I'm like giving too much advice, because every variable is different.
Okay.
But nonetheless, it's consistency. You feel me? Like, as long as you just stay on your job, you stay on your hustle. You feel me? Like, you stay true to exactly what you're making. You feel me? Like, you either be a visionary, you build the vision, or you build the team to help you build the vision. Right. But nonetheless, it's like you just take your time with it. You got to give yourself grace. Like, if that was anything I could tell my younger self, it'd be like, give yourself grace. You feel me? Just let it unravel and shit, because you don't want to just, like, get everything you want tomorrow and not know what to do the next day. You feel me? Like, you got to live a long life.
Do you see any change in the emotion when you're walking around Detroit? Does that impact where you put a certain piece of artwork, or does that impact how you draw or put out anything? Do you grasp emotion through the generations of what's going on in Detroit? Do you feel like there's like a sadness and a happiness period of time that happens, or is it all just like
It's all been happy to me, honestly. Like I just always saw the bright side of Detroit. So when I do like the the community murals, or if it's like through the city, like we have to talk to the neighborhoods to know like what's going on, and like so we can reflect the neighborhood in some of these murals. Like I just did a huge piece in Southwest by Sicily's with my homie Southwest Freddie. Like, and we did that with I forgot the small business murals. It's something through the Gilbert Family Foundation on One Next Run. But we painted a big ass mural, and we had to, talk with the neighborhood and, Freddie from the neighborhood. So it's like you got to make something that ingrains, and that feels good no matter if it's good or bad. Like it's still a product of what I'm from.
Yeah, man. But you're soaking in the culture. You're soaking in Detroit. Where are you seeing? Like where are you seeing the culture go itself? Because when I hear a lot about people talk about the culture, it's not like anybody has an identity for it exactly, or like a way of looking at it exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So this is my idea. So I feel like what Detroit is right now is what Harlem was in like the 1920s. Like the Harlem Renaissance, it's a Detroit Renaissance happening right now. Like we have so many different muralists, painters, dancers, writers. You feel me? The street scene popping right now. Like everything is at a boiling point, and I feel like everything that's happening the past 5 years and the next 10 years will shift the world. You feel me? In 100 years from now, they're going to be looking back and like, this was the Detroit Renaissance phase. Like how they looked at the Industrial Revolution, the Harlem Renaissance, or pop art. I feel like now we're in the midst of the Detroit Renaissance, and we're literally changing the world.
And it's going to be some time before we see the actual like balanced act of it all.
Yeah. We're in the middle of the storm right now, you feel me? So we don't even realize that we're changing the world, but you feel me? Like people are really doing revolutionary things, unique things right here from the city.
So far in your entire career for yourself personally, what was the biggest personal accolade or something that meant the most to you out of everything you've done so far?
I dropped when I released my weed strain Crud. This funny as fuck, yeah, but I got a weed strain called Crud with Doghouse and shit, so we had the release party at Spotlight, and I'm working hard as fuck the whole day trying to get the shit done, you feel me? We popping up at dispensaries and shit, I'm live painting, we get to the motherfucking shit, my family there, and they just was geeked for some reason. I don't know why the fuck they geeked, you feel me? I'm working like fuck it, I'm working, but then they surprised me with the Spirit of Detroit Award, you feel me? So they got a Spirit of Detroit Award for me, and I feel like that was really a special moment. It just showed me to slow down, and you feel me, like the people around you watching and they appreciate you and shit.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel like so it was a complete surprise to you getting the Spirit of Detroit Award?
Yeah, I ain't know at all.
Yeah, I
ain't know at all. And it was like the day I dropped my weed too on 313 day. It was like, this shit is magical. You feel me? Like this shit was sweet as fuck.
That's awesome, man. When people reach out to you, what impact did they say that you did have on them?
People say a lot of different things, but it's always good. You feel me? And that make me feel good because in my mind, it's like I'm still the same kid. Like I don't feel like when people say I'm famous, like it just makes me anxious. Like I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm just somebody that love to do art walking up and down in Detroit. You feel me? Like, so when people do say that, it gives me affirmation and it, makes me believe in myself a little bit more, so I really try to rise to the occasion so I can be these things that people see me as. But it's a lot of good things people say, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. There's only, when people talk about, when it comes down to artwork in Detroit and everything like that, there's only a few names that get brought up. And Nick, what's the guy from that did the Russell Industrial? You talking?
Yeah, that's the OG too.
Yeah, I only hear a few names every once in a while. What are some of the people that you see? Some people that you see that are working and doing something similar to you in Detroit that you could tip your hat to.
Let's see. For sure, Sydney James, Tiff Massey. She about to do a show at the DIA. Mario Moore, Southwest Freddie, Tony Hooligan, Tony Rave, Philip Simpson, D Diddy MPEG, India Solomon, Ellen Rudd. I can say a whole bunch of people. O'Shawn Williams.
Also, there's a lot of cats
that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people, man.
Sure.
Like I could really go on and on if I really just sat down and think about it. But that's just like off of the top, and there's plenty more. Syntax, Shay. It's like how we just said Kobe Solomon. It's a lot of people I can name. Phil Art, Joshua Rayner.
What do you think the craziest statue in Detroit is? Do you think it's that dude that's that Red Wings dude, or do you think it's the Lions, or what do you think the coldest like statue in Detroit is?
What you talk about, the Barry?
What is it?
The Barry Sanders statue? That's the one you talk about?
Is that Barry Sanders? Spirit of Detroit. Oh, the Spirit of Detroit. Dude.
What'd you say, the Red Wings, dude?
What's that dude that's balancing that shit?
Yeah.
He's like, what's Spirit of Detroit?
Yeah, that's the Spirit of Detroit.
Now they're gonna cancel my ass right there. So you think
that's of course the most monumental, like when we had the Spirit of Detroit.
Yeah.
But I do like the fist, the Joe Louis fist. That's definitely one.
Yeah.
What else? The new Barry Sanders one. You feel me? That's definitely one. Like I want to put a statue up in the city. You feel me?
Who would you put up?
Like one of my faces, like an abstract face of mine, or like if I can or like if I can do a statue of J Dilla in Coney Gardens or something like that. You feel me? But just in the sense of just really just taking my style forward in the midst of 3D sculpture and public art.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You think J Dilla's still, as far as like inside of Detroit, talked about enough? Do you think like it's more outside of Detroit that his name's still getting recognition?
I really loved J Dilla month this year. You feel me? Like it showed me like just the impact and you feel me how we pushing and everything. Like J Dilla still get love in Detroit for sure, and he need more love, but he definitely gets love. You feel me? Like the people that I know, but it's just about you feel me when people don't know, it's just getting them hip. You feel me? So that's all we got to do, find different ways to get them hip, and get them on the radio somewhere. You'll never hear J Dilla on the radio. You feel me? So we gotta have that happen and all that shit. But I've been to J Dilla. I visited his fucking grave in LA and shit like that. You feel me? So when I was out there spending time painting and shit, I was out there for a Dilla month and I seen how they party for Dilla too. And chilling with house shoes out there and all that shit. And it's just dope to see how you can be a magnificent person just by living within your artistry. And that's what J Dilla was. I consider him an artist. Like the way that he made beats and how he just flipped the whole fucking game. People just calling his shit sloppy, but everybody, I feel like when I hear lo-fi beats, that's just like whitewash J Dilla. You feel me? Like everybody's copying that sound. Like neo soul, that's like J Dilla R&B. You feel me? Like so just to know that he came from here and we can pay respects to him, it's just dope as hell. You feel me? Like even shout out Amp. You feel me? Shout out Amp Fiddler. He just passed and he showed J Dilla how to use the MPC. You feel me? So we just have so much legacy. It's so robust when you really just like get in tune with your own city. Like it can take you everywhere.
Talk a little bit more about that, man. Living in your artistry and how that alone can bring an impact instead of just like trying to be an influence, just diving into art and how that can become an influence itself.
It's a little bit of both because you do have spurts of like when you have influence. Like I got pieces that are influenced and inspired by Keith Haring. Like I got a character called the Jit Man, and it's like I put him in my murals and stuff. Like he doing the Jit pose, but I was inspired by Keith Haring when I made those. So like you go through waves of inspiration to get to like points of just like your full on artistry. It's like balancing it back and forth, but nonetheless you just ride the wave. You feel me? Like you just really take the ride, and it's hard. It's definitely hard because you got to survive off of this shit. You feel me? You put so much energy into it, like people don't believe you until they see their version of success in you, and stuff like that. But you got to block all that out and just get in tune with your art and see that it's like, I feel like art to me is like if I'm not painting, if I'm not creating, I'm not breathing. Like the shit feel like eating to me, So I couldn't live without it. So if you get in tune with it like that, it can change your life for sure.
Well, when you look at Detroit as a whole, what's been the most positive impacts you've seen in the past decade that you're seeing that helped pivot Detroit towards this new light that it's seeing right now?
Just a wave of black success. Like, and just how people just really get, like, even the rappers, like fucking Icewear Vezo, he dropped his mixtape and then he had the 6 Mile bus for free for the day and shit like that. Like, just different ways. Or like Skilla Baby had the Valentine's Day, he painted all the chicks' nails and shit. You feel me? Like, and these are rappers. You feel me? Like, these street rappers, but they're figuring out ways to get in tune and all that. Like, you ain't see that shit back in the day and stuff like that. So I feel like we're really using we're using our voice and our leverage to get back to the city and show that, we trying and doing. So I feel like that's some of this, like the street scene just being the main sound of the world right now. It's just so fucking dope to me.
Yeah.
Like I remember just back in the day, like everybody just ain't believe we had it here, but now it's like we're the sound. Like everybody got the Detroit type beat. You feel me? Everybody trying to rap like a street rapper in Detroit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that shit is just dope as fuck to see. Like we really on top of the fucking world, man.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely a time where, you know, the country and the nation is obviously taking a little bit of Detroit style, and some people are upset, but some people are like, damn, it's good that our sound's getting out and getting accepted like
What's
that.
crazy, like they've been taking that style. You got to think about Motown, they was taking that. You got to think about techno, they was taking that. You got to think about the Dilla song, they was taking that. You feel me? So it's like, it's waves of it. You feel me? Fucking cars came from here. We changed the world so many different times. We got the first freeways and all this type of shit. You feel me? So we always change the shit, but it's just about us as Detroit knowing our own leverage and legacy so we can push it further. You feel me? Once you realize, like, you know, I'm the shit, that's when you can really make it happen. So that's what Detroit has to do.
Yeah, maybe not. Sometimes I'll see artists or producers or anybody just selling themselves before it gets the chance where they can make it themselves their own ecosystem. Instead of making themselves their own ecosystem, they sell what their product is.
Yeah.
And then they license themselves to somebody else. Like, well, they'll get signed to a contract or signed to a label, or they'll move to a different state or something like that. And at that moment, you kind of break what the impact could have been for Detroit, because you didn't believe that it would last or that you would be able to create something bigger out of it on your own.
You gotta just sit here. You gotta sit here and go through the shit, man.
Yeah.
But once you go through the shit, it really will change. You see a lot of people that like sat here and made the change. They changed the world. Like Danny Brown changed the fucking world. You feel me? Like Eminem changed the fucking world. Dej Love changed the fucking world. And like these are all people that just made a sound out of nowhere, but they made it just sitting here in Detroit and just becoming so motherfucking unique. Like people couldn't keep up.
Yeah, but didn't Danny Brown bounce, man? I think he bounced.
He gone, but shit.
I think Dej Love bounced too, man.
yeah, but you gotta eventually fucking go somewhere.
Damn, they bounced on us, man.
But they come back home. They come back home.
That's
you feel
true.
me?
Yeah, that's true. Talk about these. You said you're in these rooms, man. You're having these meetings. I know that you're not just part of the entertainment, but you help a lot of roles in activism and stuff. You're making sure community checks and everything like that. You're a part of that as well. What are some of these rooms that you're in that you were talking about earlier?
I don't know. I feel like people just hit me up. That's how I get in the room. So it's not like I'm just willingly in these rooms. Like I just look at my email and people just hit me up to just talk about shit. You feel me? Or I'm just in the middle of some shit. You feel me? Something always fucking happen. But just me being black and me being a Detroiter, it's like I'm an activist. It's like, no, I'm just a black man with an opinion. You feel me? So I don't try to think like I'm an activist, but people do respect and value my opinion. So when people need me to step up or say something, I make sure I do. I make sure I'm punctual and I make sure I know what I'm talking about. You feel me? Can
you like throw any of those subjects out to us a little bit, or any of these conversations, or is it all like low key stuff?
No, like I did something on Fox 2, Charlie Langton. That's the homie. This motherfucker, you feel me? He be on the news and shit. So he called me, be like, you know, I just rolled by one of your murals and all that shit. He be hitting me on that type of shit. So he the homie. So one day he just hit me like, yeah, man, you know about these murals that these New York artists did around the city? I'm like, yeah, you know, I know about it. You feel me? So we get to talking about it on the phone. And he like, I'm about to pull up on you right now so we could do a fucking interview on the news. You feel me? I'm smoking a blunt at the crib. I'm like, oh shit. You know, and I could have just been like, man, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to voice my opinion. But I know this is something I need to speak on because I'm a muralist. You know, people value my opinion. So, you feel me? I put the blunt out. I had him come over and shit. And then we spoke about it, you know. And that was the interview that went on the news and stuff. But nonetheless, I see that it's like, they just hit me up. Like, people value my opinion. So I'll rise to the occasion when I have to.
He's cool, man. He like shows a lot of love to entertainment in Detroit. Like he put Jackpot the Juice and Comic J Will on, you know what I'm saying? Had them on the news and stuff like that. Man, we should give him let's give him a quick shout out.
Shout out to Charlie, man. What up, though, pimp? How you doing, baby?
Putting on for the city of Detroit.
You feel me?
Making it fun and vibrant and showing the positive things and everything like that. It's pretty cool,
yeah.
right, man? As far as future projects or current projects you want people to check out, man, is there anything you could throw at people?
Let's see. I got an EP out called Perm. Painting encourages real motherfuckers. I got Bodie James on it. It's produced by the homies Sango and Chuck English. It's a 5-track EP. Put a lot of time into it. I love it and shit. I'm gonna release some more after that and shit. I got a Ghetto Tech album. I'm about to drop my first vinyl that I produced. I'm really from Detroit. I got a Ghetto Tech remix with Sheefy McFly remixed. I'm Out Here, and I got some other tracks on there too. I'm performing at Movement this year again. more murals. I got art shows coming up and all. Just hella shit, whole bunch of shit. But just follow me, Sheefy McFly and all that type of shit. Yada, yada.
Do you have any murals that people is hidden, like where like people you have to like Easter egg hunt find it?
Let me see. I know it's this one I did like under an overpass. Me and my homie Fudweiser, we did it and shit. And you can drive by real quick, but if you don't notice it, you won't see it's me. Or I had one, like when I do some murals, sometimes it'd be like a door close or some shit, and I paint the door, or I paint like little words on it and shit like that. You feel me? But the building got tore down. But that's what's crazy just about murals. You see that sometimes it won't be there forever, but just the impact of that moment. And now we got cameras and shit, you can really just have something forever. But murals and everything like that don't supposed to be forever, but you're supposed to have that impact, and it changed with the scenery.
I want to pull out my favorite painting by you, and if you could kind of explain what it meant to you symbolically.
Bet it up.
Let's pull up a couple here real quick.
It had to be hot today.
I swear,
God
bro.
Damn, I ain't looking greasy on this motherfucker. I might look good. Okay, bet, because my shit is sweating.
You see, speaking of fucking statues, you see the RoboCop statue in the Bradley King?
Yes, they've been building it forever though. It's been like 15 fucking years.
I had one of the dudes I worked with was doing it. You know Nick Felger? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah? For real?
I think so.
Yeah, he's like a white guy with a beard.
Yeah.
Kind of metalhead dude. But yeah, he was doing a lot of the work to get that thing together. That bitch, when it's done, it's gonna be nuts, bro.
Man, that's the one I'm waiting on, honestly. But they've been taking forever just to put it up and shit. For real.
Ever, bro.
Check out this one. This is my favorite painting.
Oh yeah, actions speak louder.
Yeah, man. This is explain this to people.
Okay, so actions speak louder. I feel like that's when I really dove into that style of just like the bust character. I did like a whole bunch of prints and stuff like that, so we're on a good run. So this is me starting off the new year, and when I do that, like around January, February, I get in the paint mode. That's like my hibernation mode. I'm in the studio, boom. So this one, my apartment was the studio. I bought just a whole bunch of canvas I got to painting. So that was one of the first ones. So like I was doing just block colors and like the patterns at first. So I'm like, all right, I want to take it up a notch. I want to do something that can make it feel organic and it can have some type of history with it. So that's why I used the zebra print to make it organic, like you see the animal feel in it. And then I used the Greek eye, the Greek evil eye. I was just looking up different just symbols and patterns, and something just drew me to the evil eye. And when I looked up the definition, I'm like, this sweet as hell. And I just put them in there, you feel me? And then it like just became a reoccurring image and pattern in my pieces and stuff. But I feel like that was one of the ones that I really got crispy, and it was a definite change in my painting and stuff. I made like a print of it as well. We still got some available on One Time Run, but we got prints of it. It's fucking huge. It's like 60 inches by 40 inches, some shit like that, if not bigger. But we printed it in LA with Calibri Art Studio. So they do, so you got silk screens and you got serigraphs. So serigraphs are like fancier silk screens and shit. So I had to go there and like pick out the colors so I can get the Pantones exactly right. And then when you look at the print, it's like a clear layer over the black lines that mimics my brushstroke. So that was my first time really just like taking a print to the next level to actually make it feel like the original painting. Man. So just the whole process of that piece alone really just helped open my palette as an artist and see how far I can actually go.
You had a little bit of that course that they took you to that somebody paid for you to go through when you were younger, right? But like, did you do any art school after that or anything?
Oh yeah. I went to I went to like BBAC in Birmingham. I was doing like General Motors car design sketches. I went to Blue Lakes Fine Arts Camp in Muskegon.
Oh, so you're trained as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went to CCS for 2 years. I was doing like internships before I went there. Like I had AP classes in high school, so I already like killed my freshman classes. I was in sophomore classes by the time I got to CCS and shit. But nonetheless, like I really just dove into it, and like, you know, by the blessings, by the love of my community, the love of my family, my parents, I was able to get to these classes and everything like that, and I just really just dove in.
Yeah, very cool. For some reason, I didn't know if you were trained or not, but it's like, yeah, you have a lot of history. And getting professionally like educated with the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see people that don't have any education that are able to accomplish things at this level of success?
Yeah, I definitely do. And I feel like education is just the eye of the beholder, because you can learn just from somebody walking up the street the same thing you can learn in a class. It could be the teacher walking up the street and you can learn directly from him. Yeah. You feel me? So it's just about how you learn, but I don't knock getting the education. Like I feel like I'm doper because I got it. And I encourage people that, didn't go to school, like, you could take a foundation class and things like that, just to sharpen and just to help you learn new things. And that's what I appreciated about just coming up being an artist and going to these different classes. I always learned about, art history and discovered different mediums and everything like that. And just to learn all that, it just helps you simplify everything. And I feel like that's why my style is just like, I could just, you feel me? Like I learned everything, I added everything just to subtract, like Picasso. You feel me?
Sure, man. This was an awesome talk, man. I feel like I learned a lot. Is there anything you want to shout out to the audience before we sign off?
I'm just happy to be here.
Sure. I know, Nick, man. You've been waiting for him to come on. Is there anything you want to ask Doug before we sign off?
You hit most of it, man. I wanted to get in touch. I wanted to make sure we knew Sheefy was out there and everybody knew what was going on.
Well, that's what's up, man. You feel me? This the couch to be on and shit. Like I don't even like talking and shit. So shout out to my homie Beat on and shit. He put this shit together. You feel
man.
me?
Yeah, I wish I had. Yeah, man. I looked up some of your interviews and I didn't find anything that was too direct. It was mostly like stuff that was clipped up, and then there was one where you were duo partnering with somebody else, and I was like, damn it, I just want to hear your story. Like, too much going on. So hopefully we were able to tell some of your story.
No, I feel
today.
like we got deep into the story today. You feel me? I'm excited to see what people say.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was awesome having you on. One cool note that I took from you today is, a lot of us are very judgmental over this new era of Detroit music. I might have been a little bit judgmental of it, but when you hear what you just said about how everybody just has a different perspective, it really just opened my eyes to being more understanding. Even if the sounds or maybe what people are saying isn't something that might interest me too much, it's still Detroit at the end of the day, and it's still somebody's story from Detroit. And whatever way they might be putting it out, it's still something that's incorporated from the city or something that's manufactured within them from the city.
Yeah.
So we can never, throw it in the shadows. We really have to look at it like that. Because a lot of people are dismissing today's Detroit rap. There's a lot of people accepting it, but there's a lot of people dismissing it.
Because you're just not from there. You're just not from the gutter. You just don't get it. It's lovely. It's, but, and it's pros and cons, definitely. You feel me? It's definitely pros and cons, but just don't be stupid and just get engulfed in the music. You feel me? Some people just become zombies when they hear this shit and they want to replicate what they listening to. Like, just enjoy it. You feel me? Like, it's art. Like, when I go to the fucking museum, I look at the paintings and I enjoy it. So when I listen to music, I listen to it and I enjoy it. You feel me? Like, if I want to, get hype and shit, I'll turn on Vezo. If I'm fucking chilling, I'm going to turn on Slum Village. You feel me? And I'm going to love them both for what the fuck they is, Man. And that's the same thing with all this shit. You feel me? That's why I reached out to Babytron. Like, I hit my cousin up. He make a lot of my beats. I'm like, who's some of the hottest niggas in this bitch that we should be tapped in with? And once I really got hit to him and just seeing this whole new scene, like, I was just like, this is dope as fuck because this is a whole new generation. And you ain't going to understand the next generation coming up. You feel me? But it's just up to you to just like appreciate it. You feel me? Like, and I feel like we just we had so many just hating ass generations hating on each other. We gotta get over that shit. You feel me? Like, love what the fuck's coming up. If you don't understand it, at least just let them do what the fuck they doing. You feel me? Like,
Facts, man. I love it. Appreciate you being a part of this, man. Legendary talk. Hopefully you can come back again soon, man.
Yeah, I don't be doing shit. Just hit me up.
Maybe we'll get you throw something up back there or something like that.
Man, what easy? Say less. Say fucking less.
I appreciate you being a part of this, man. Legendary day. We're at Parallel Sound Studio. Hilo Visual Shooting Productions. We're out. Peace.